Well, this is something I bet you'd never expect to see. This is our 1965 Ford F100, and I'm about to plug it into an EV charging station. That's right. This truck was just converted to a full electric powertrain, and in this video, I'm going to give you the first drive. This is pretty freaking cool. I'm really excited about this. Now, a little bit of background. Let me crawl underneath this cord. We bought this truck about a year ago, and it's a 65 Ford F100 / F250 / F550. So the body is an old Forest service truck body. You can see the green poking through. The chassis is from an F250, and the engine was from an F550 or something dump truck. It was a 300 inline 6-cylinder engine. We did a bunch of videos, but then we recently gave this truck over to the great folks over at Legacy EV and 101 Motors in Arizona, and they did a full electric conversion of this truck. There is no internal combustion engine in this whatsoever. It's gone full battery electric. Now we've got a full series coming. I mean, an entire series where we show you the nitty-gritty of how it was done, the bed off the frame, the cab off the frame, the engine coming out, the electric motors going in. Andre's producing that over at TFL Truck, but you TFL Classics folks are just the best, so I wanted to give you a sneak peek of what the truck looks like completely finished. So let's do a quick walk around. Now the goal of this truck was to keep it looking old, vintage, dirty, beat up, rugged, that kind of thing. So from an exterior standpoint, apart from these little stickers, there's basically nothing that we did to improve the looks of this truck, except the folks over at 101 Motors were a little cheeky and they put the badging E100 in blue there, which is kind of a fun little tidbit. But the idea was, let's keep it looking rough, but let's make it mechanically brand new, modern. Let's clean up the frame, that kind of thing. So let's talk about, of course, what you want to see, which is that power plant. Now, this truck has this really cool little lightning bolt through the gear. That initially meant that this was a straight 6 truck. And I just love that now this lightning bolt has a double meaning because this is an electric truck. I think that's really, really cool. Now, everyone in the comments is going to be all complaining, oh, you ruined a classic, and we'll get to that later. I don't think we did. I think we made this into a really unique resto mod. And of course, this is an iconic piece of Americana, and that Americana continues under the hood because this truck is powered by Tesla batteries. And Tesla, of course, is an American manufacturer. So these are an American battery in an American truck. Looking pretty dumb right now. This is why I hate one takes. Where's the little knob? There it is. And there you have it. So the engine in this truck was pretty tired. It was a 300 inline 6, probably from the 60s. Now those 4.9 Ford straight 6s can go hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of miles between rebuilds, but the one that was in this truck definitely needed a full rebuild. So rather than go that route, we went the EV conversion route. So what you're seeing under here is this giant custom fabricated box, and that box actually holds the first set of batteries. So you've got about half the batteries underneath the hood in this box, and then we have some of the EV control modules there behind the battery box. Now these Tesla batteries are liquid cooled, and they're still liquid cooled even in this conversion, so you'll see pipes kind of running throughout. But the cool thing is you need a lot less cooling on an EV than you would on a gas truck. So most of the grill, well, actually all of the grill is just feeding air into the engine bay. The actual radiator is just this little tiny unit kind of located up there behind the cross member. That's where the cooling comes from. Folks in their loud gasoline vehicles. That's where the cooling comes from for this E100 truck. Now, there's a bunch of different ways to EV convert a truck, or a car for that matter. One of the most common is you pull the engine and then mate the electric motor to the transmission. That is a pretty decent way to do it. The issue is then, of course, you've got a big motor kind of living underneath the hood, and it's hard for battery packaging. What the folks over at 101 Motors did with this truck is they worked with Legacy EV to come up with something a little bit clever. So if you look underneath here, the motors are bolted kind of in between the frame rails, and there's 2 of them. They're Hyper 9 motors, brand new motors, and they are then directed into a little reduction box with a parking cog, which is also a really nice thing about this truck, is it has a real park gear, which is pretty unusual for a lot of EVs. So the advantage here is they're nice and low in the frame, and they're bolted directly to the transfer case. And this is the coolest part about this truck, right? This is an F250 250 frame transfer case axles. What that means is that these had a divorced transfer case from the factory, which meant you had equal length drive shafts, front and rear, which means the transfer case is basically right in the middle of the frame, and you get that nice kind of even drive shaft angle going to the front and the back with that centrally located transfer case. So it made this setup perfect. So 2 electric motors, total system horsepower probably right around 280, but the torque is the big news, over 600 foot-pounds. Now originally this truck, with the worn out engine that was in there, maybe pushing 115 horsepower, something like that. Torque, somewhere over 200. So 3 times the torque number, and that's really what matters in the truck. Now, of course, on these old vehicles, the fuel tank actually lived behind the seat, and I always thought that was a really sketchy place for the fuel tank, but it's gone now, and instead you can just see the wires going into the bottom of the cab, which is pretty funky. So the fuel tank is gone, and now we just have the charge port where the fuel tank used to be, the little filler. Now this truck is running on level 1 and level 2 charging only right now. There are folks that have converted these to like a CHAdeMO port too, so you can fast charge them, but 6 kilowatt onboard charger. It's made up of 2 sets of 3 kilowatt chargers basically, and we'll have all these details coming up very shortly from the guys responsible for this truck who know a lot more about it than I do. And then if we come out to the back here, if you look underneath, you actually see something kind of unique. That right there is the second set of batteries. So remember I said there are 2 for a total of over 70 kilowatt hours worth of battery. So pretty similar to the total capacity of a Tesla Model 3. Of course, way less efficient. We don't really know the range at this point. You know, I would predict somewhere between, like, if I had to guess, maybe 100 and 200 miles, maybe like 150 miles. I don't know. We'll do all that testing here shortly. It's really kind of hard to say. It's going to be pretty inefficient on 35-inch tall tires, but that's where the second battery pack is. Now, the folks actually weighed this thing, and the weight distribution was perfect 50-50. It is, of course, a little bit heavier than it was when it was a gasoline truck, but it's really cool having that perfect 50-50 weight distribution. I think that's pretty cool. So let me go ahead and unplug it, and we'll kind of talk about how it works. So just a standard J-plug, unplug it. You can charge it at public charging spots, which is fun. I really want to take this to like super greeny Boulder, like the most greeny charger in front of like a kale health food shop. Come in with this big, janky looking orange truck and then plug in. I think that'd be really cool. So Cole, stay over on this side. I want to show him some things which make this a little bit unusual and kind of fun and cool. So patina's the same. The interior is basically the same. Seats still need to be recovered, but that's all just kind of in the fun of it. But what I love is that the original keys still work like they should. So you still have the key slot over here, still put the key in just like you would when it was original. Gotta remember which one is which. There we go. Turn the key slot, and now basically the truck is running. But the gauges still work, so the speedometer at least is still hooked up exactly as it was. I'm not sure about the other one. This truck is still a little bit of a work in progress, but you've got your light switches. All of that is all original Ford, which I think is neat. And then Cole, go hop in on the other side, and we'll show him the best part of this rig. So this cab came off the frame, and they customized it. They cut a big hole, actually custom some sheet metal up here. But if you look down through there, you can see the motors, and you can see how they're hooked up. So you got one in the front, one in the rear there with the high voltage cables going to them. And then you got this little view panel here, which is illuminated in blue. You can see powered by Legacy EV, 101 motors, and then of course TFL truck, which I think is cool. Now this panel right here is where the magic happens. So this controls everything you need. You can see basically all your vital information. You got temperatures there, you got kilowatts when you're accelerating and decelerating, and then up here you have your empty to full indicator. You can see 78 kilowatt hours total, and it's predicting 58.4 of them left. And this needs a little bit of calibration because it just hasn't been driven that much since it was finished like a few days ago. So we'll have more information on that shortly. But Cole, why don't you hop in and we'll try taking this thing for a spin. I haven't driven this since it was EV converted. Now I drove this thing a lot as a gasoline truck, and we're gonna go get our camera bag because I realized Cole left it over there, and then we'll go for a spin. So this now has a push button transmission, just like the Ram trucks actually, which is pretty funny. So you got reverse and then drive, neutral, and park. And of course it does have an actual parking gear, which I think is really cool. A lot of EV conversions don't have that. And then we just have our two primary pedals, brake and then accelerator. Of course, fully different accelerator than when it was. Now the clutch pedal is still here. That'll be removed, I think. Once again, this is still kind of a little bit of a work in progress, some kinks to iron out. But you can see we're taking off without the sound of that inline six-cylinder engine. Now, I drove this truck a lot when it was in its condition that we bought it as, which was the 300 i6 and then the 4-speed manual with the granny gear. And it was fun to drive, but was it ever a thought exercise? There was a lot going on. You had to plan way ahead for the brakes, way ahead for the transmission, right? I mean, the transmission was incredibly slow and clunky. Now, the cool thing about this truck is it's still on the original Ford frame, or whatever frame it had underneath it. It's still on the same axles, actually, as that F250. Still has the same transfer case. So you still have the charm of driving an old vehicle. It's not like we just stuck a Ford body on some modern thing, which I always kind of hate. This is, you know, an actual converted truck, which is to say we have 35s and no power steering. So it still is a little bit of a plan to drive this truck. But here we go. Accelerating down the road, just the whine of the electric motor. Let's give it a little squirt. Oh yeah, that is way faster than it was before, I'm going to tell you that right now. So this truck is still running on drum brakes. They have been rebuilt, but the crazy thing is it has regenerative braking. So usually I'd be like, get rid of those drum brakes immediately, but as this truck is set up, you really don't need to use the brakes all that often because of that regen braking. And the cool thing is, you can program exactly how much regen you want, exactly what kind of acceleration curve you want, exactly what kind of torque band you want using the computers in this truck. So if you want a lot of off-throttle regen, you can program that in. If you want it to coast more, you can do that as well. If you want a huge burst of acceleration right off the line, that can happen as well. So basically, however you want the truck to drive is up to you based on a little bit of code. Now you can see as we cruise along here, we've got that little kilowatt meter. So that's the decel, that's the regen in green, and then there's the acceleration in red. And then of course we can monitor our temperatures and some of our voltages, which is quite nice. I am really impressed with this. I know that there's still some bugs to iron out here and there, but it feels so much better than it did with that inline six. I mean, I know that inline six was a piece of history and it was fun to drive, but it really just turned this into a tractor, especially that it's probably like a late 60s inline six that was in this if I had to guess. It just wasn't a ton of power. This is way easier to drive. Anybody can get in this, turn the key, and simply go. Now, I think they have it dialed in pretty darn well. Now, this truck still has selectable four-wheel drive. We're in two-wheel drive right now, and if you let off the accelerator, it will bring you down quickly, but not to the point where you're like locking up the rear wheels. If they wanted to, they could program this thing to let off the throttle and just have it go, right? But that would be completely useless for most folks. Now, it still is a truck from 1965, so it still rattles and it still shakes and it still, you know, sounds like you're driving the 60s, but that is just all part of the charm, which is really, really cool. So I think the big question now, which you're probably going to wonder, is how much does a conversion like this cost? It's expensive. I mean, there's no way around it. If you were to do this exact conversion with the 300 horsepower, the Tesla batteries, all said and done, you're probably going to be in this truck like $80,000 in the conversion, which is very, very expensive. If you wanted to do like a modern day V8, you'd probably be spending considerably less. Now, it's worth noting that this truck we actually donated to the cause, basically. So the three companies, TFL Truck, Legacy EV, and 101 Motors came together to do this as a big collaboration, and this truck is actually going to be auctioned off to help a good cause, which is just fantastic. So we're not going to be keeping this truck forever and ever and ever, but we are going to be keeping this truck for long enough to do a lot of testing. So we're going to do performance testing, range testing, take it off-road, see what it's like to live with an EV conversion in the real world. And I'm predicting, what would I say, 150 miles of range? I could be way off. This thing could do much better than that. You could be looking at range closer to 200, 250. I don't know. We're just going to have to be sure to test it. But drivability-wise, it makes this truck a lot more usable, and just honestly a lot more fun. Plus, it's cool, like, at least in 2022, when you don't see a lot of EV conversions, to be driving something like this and just getting the reactions of people as you cruise by Okay, let's give it some throttle. Oh yeah, that is a lot faster, significantly faster. Now that was probably 2/3. It's not blowing my face off like you'd expect in a Tesla, but keep in mind we're on 35-inch tall tires and we're still driving a big, heavy steel brick. But this will easily pass most traffic, which is kind of the goal, right? It was to make it quicker and faster and potentially even more usable in daily traffic than it was before. Now, Andre, I know, is really excited to tell you all the details about this truck, how it came together, show you that full video series. So that's going to be over at TFL Truck, but I just wanted to give you a little sneak behind the curtain at what's been going on with this old E100 now. And as always, it's been Tommy over at TFL Classics. We'll see you on the next video.